people, stay dandy, baby. There's good news and there's bad news. The good news is we're getting a little bit closer to the end game of Yashahime. It's very clear that the series is building up to what is going to be a very interesting finale, especially with everything that's going on with Kirinmaru, Zero, and the mysterious Riku. The bad news is the story, in my humble opinion, and remember, I need to say this again, this is simply my opinion, is getting a little boring. I think a little bit of that luster is starting to wane a little bit on Yashahime, and that's no clearer than in this episode right here, which honestly almost put me to sleep by the end of it for how stock it really was and how not that much actually happened in the grand scheme of things. I think the one thing that's still really great about the series is certainly the dynamic between the three main leads, Towa, Setsuna, and Moroha, but the actual villains themselves leave a lot to be desired. I have a feeling that Kirinmaru, Zero, and whatever the hell it is Riku is, are going to be way more infinitely interesting than anything we're seeing from Totestsu, the monk-devouring demon, and Konton, the guy who always comes up with plans which inevitably fail. He's basically a Power Rangers villain, where every single week he comes up with some sort of brand new, convoluted plan to take down the main characters, those rotten teenagers, when suddenly they always manage to one-up him and make him look like a complete and total fool. And that's basically what this entire episode is all about, where he basically creates this mysterious square of magic, which is going to lead Moroha, Towa, and Setsuna to some mysterious landscape where they're going to get caught in an infinite loop, a sort of resetting maze, if you will. And if you've heard this type of story before, don't be shocked. It's been done in a million other mediums before. And here, it doesn't really break any ground, and it manages to just slow the episode down. That and the fact that, look, I know that the series doesn't have the best production value in the world, but man, there are just some bad-looking scenes in this episode in terms of the execution and the animation. And I really hate to dog the series because I do enjoy it. I am still very excited to see where all of this is going to be going. As a longtime fan of Inuyasha, I want to see the series succeed, and I want to see it do something really unique and fun. But this episode right here, just I can't put my finger on it. It rubbed me the wrong way. So, like I said, the entire episode was basically just a plan from Konton to try and trap these girls and to supposedly kill them to take their rainbow pearls. He's going to be involving Totestsu, and even Riku seems to be involved as well, as he seems to be playing on both sides and being very coy about it the entire time. He wants something from Kirinmaru. He's just not going to explain what it's actually going to be, despite the fact that the characters boldly ask him what it is. He's mysterious for intentionally being mysterious. He's practically a character that was created by J.J. Abrams. I really hope it is going to have some solid payoff, as I honestly can't read the character, and he's probably one of the best things about this episode. But like I said, it's basically just the girls finding Totestsu, who's continuing to try and kill monks and eat them alive. They chase him, and they end up going into this weird space where they get separated, with Towa and Setsuna being in some massive landscape where they continuously go in loops and get lost, and Moroha, who seems to be stuck in a ravine which never seems to end. She can climb to the top, but she always finds herself back at the bottom. Eventually, Towa and Setsuna are able to find this rift in this weird maze, and they're able to attack it at the same time, and they find Konton, and then the episode just sort of ends. So, what's the rundown on the latest episode of Yashahime? If it sounds like I'm bored by this episode, the fact of the matter is, I just am. Look, you come here for my opinion. I could give you the rundown on how the episode works thematically or how it's animated, but even then, I wouldn't be doing it any justice, as it doesn't do anything to break the mold. It just is kind of a sloppy kind of episode. I've noticed that the writing has been kind of rushed in the last couple of episodes. It was made really clear in the last one where we went into Moroha's backstory, which was very contrived about how the fact that she's constantly in debt to Jiyube, which a lot of my commenters noted, why doesn't she just leave? What's going to keep her from staying around and continuing to do this outside of the fact that she's trying to pay respect to her master? She doesn't have to do any of this. She's just sort of doing it of her own volition, and it makes her seem kind of, well, stupid. And that's kind of what this episode felt like right here, especially with the villains. Like I said, at least Konton comes up with some interesting plans. Totetsu's just a big, loud, dumb monster who honestly doesn't seem that much more powerful than any other demon that we've actually seen this season, leading me to believe that why is it taking so long for these girls to kill this guy? Why is it so difficult? And I know it's going to be happening in the next episode or so. It has to. It looks like the big battles with Totetsu and with friggin' Konton are going to be coming to an end soon, and I really hope they are, because I want to know what's going on with Maru and Zero and all that other stuff, because it is just infinitely more interesting than anything that actually happened in this episode. Like I said, it also hurts that this episode just didn't look all that great. There's a lot of inconsistencies in the art and just of terms of how things look, the characters move, just the fact that, Setsuna's friggin' Naginata blade changes shape, like, in size multiple times throughout the episode. There's just a lot of sloppy detail in this episode, and as someone who watches a lot of anime, that's the type of stuff that I'm always looking for. So yeah, it's inherently going to disappoint someone like me, but someone else might get some enjoyment out of this episode, maybe way more than I actually did. I mean, as it stands, to me, this was a 2 out of 5 episode of Yashahime, but your thoughts may differ. You might have thought that this was a perfect 5 out of 5, and you might be getting something out of it maybe more than I am. And if you are, power to you. Enjoy the episode as much as you can. But for me, this might be one of the most disappointing episodes of the entire series. I don't know what it is. Like I said, I think I'm just kind of ready to move on to the next part of the story. It feels like we have been in limbo with Konton and Totestsu for like months now, and I'm just ready to move on and see something different, and I'm sick of Riku playing coy about what his plan is, the whole Rainbow Pearl plot, and everything going on with Maru. I just want to see what's next. That's all I want, guys. So, yeah, sorry if I disappointed you and not absolutely loving this episode, but I have to speak honestly from the heart. I just didn't really enjoy this one all that much. My thoughts might change in the next couple of episodes. They might change in the next episode. This might be, leading up to something a little bit bigger, which will, of course, boost the importance of this episode. But for what it is now, it's just kind of a snooze fest. Again, it's just my opinion. Yours may differ, and that's what the comments section is for. I'd love to hear all of your thoughts about this episode of Yashahime. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you were disappointed like I was, what you're hoping to see from the future of the series, how they're going to take down Konton and Totestsu, and what this whole thing is going to lead to with Maru, Zero, and Riku, what their entire deal is. It does look like at least the next episode is going to get a little more interesting. It even looks like our big bad boy Sesshomaru is going to be returning, so I think that's going to be pretty awesome. But overall, that's my thoughts. Like I said, sound off in the comments section below, and if you did like this review, despite the fact that I was completely dogging the episode, make sure to give this review a thumbs up. It'd really help out a lot. And think about subscribing to the channel so you can check out all of my other anime reviews. I have a number of them that are going to be coming up soon, some of which are a little belated, some of them are Patreon related, which also leads me to the next part of this video. I want to take this time to thank all of my patrons. You guys go out of your way to watch my content and share it with people, but you also go that extra mile in making those monthly donations, and I cannot thank you enough for that. Remember, first-time donators, I'll review an anime series of your choice, as well as adding your name to this list of super awesome people. You guys are the reps, the producers of Ace Guru. So thank you guys so much for watching this review. I'll see you all next time, and as always, stay dandy, baby.